what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Hello there. Welcome to the Flashing Blade podcast. I'm Siobhan. Berlin is drowning me. Let's meet the plucky girl assistants. Let's have a look. Right. My apologies to the other two plucky girl assistants, but we need to sort this out. The Brian is here. Hello, the Brian. Still American?
Beer, football, yeah.
All right, okay. And just where the hell were you last week?
I had to make an extended trip over to Russia.
Did some people need to fall out some
so
windows?
you obviously failed. I'm just saying.
There are some oligarchs that will be currently going into the hospital soon, where they will...
I'm sorry, I'm going to do it before he does. Oligarchs.
Yeah.
Oligarchs.
Now they're
I don't
ugly
give a
arcs.
shit what they are. They're going to be meeting a very
They're going to fall out windows.
suicidal end.
Okay. You basically...
You know, a guy in a hospital on the 6th floor, right, fell out a window.
Apparently.
It was so tragic.
Anyway, no, we found out what was wrong with Brian. Brian had very cleverly taken the flu vaccine and the COVID vaccine at the same time. And what did it do to you, Brian?
Well, I also took 100 milligrams of Seroquel that night as well.
I don't know what that is.
So between Friday night at 9:30 and 9 a.m. Sunday morning, I was awake for a total of 5 hours. Yeah.
Amateur.
No. I've gone longer unconscious, or at least with a blackout.
I've done a 24-hour job.
Those days are long behind.
That's, yes, I'm sure. Retta would probably say otherwise. Anyway, it's good to have you back, mate. It is. What else do we have? Well, he's just sat there. You're very lucky to have caught him. It is, in fact, Dr. Sinister. Hello.
Of
Hello
myth
there.
and legend.
I'm eating
Yes.
Plowman's Cheshire cheese mini cheddars. Yes. Cheshire.
And cheese made from cat milk, right? Cheshire cheddar.
What are they like? How do they differ to the normal cheddary ones? Do they taste differently?
Not quite sharp.
Interesting. And the bouquet?
Yes, they do fit nicely into a bucket.
Wonderful. Great. And then...
Before or after eating?
Either's fine.
Okay.
Fair enough. Now, some say that apparently Spanky's breath smells of magnesium and that he's scared of bells. But it's the post-demolition area called Spanky.
It's not bells. It's bellhops.
You're scared of bellhops, so you don't watch Quadrophenia then?
And I don't like when people try and take my luggage at the hotel either.
Fair enough. That could be a bit annoying, if I'm honest with you. Get off! You just want money off me.
I'm thinking, look, we could do like a recursive thing.
Oh, howl around! Howl around!
Ooh, look at that. Wow, yeah.
That's some Inception shit right there.
Possibly a little bit too far. Thank you so much for subbing, Lord Sidious. That's very kind of you. 22 months. You're currently on a 12-month streak. Put your clothes back on, child.
Not from the waist down. I refuse to.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Again, American.
Not when we're online.
Right, so we're going to do what we normally do, and we're going to say, Dr. Sinister, how's your week been?
I've been on holiday this week.
Hey.
I must admit,
You do seem quite
the
relaxed.
state funeral on Monday choked me up a little bit.
Yeah, I saw on Facebook, yeah. That's all right. You're allowed.
I was proper sad, that was.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Are you
But-
over it? Can I make jokes
but-
about it now?
Apparently Donald Trump's annoyed that he didn't get invited.
Oh, but if he did, he would have been right at the front, apparently.
He would have been right at the front.
Yeah.
I think he fails to appreciate that she was head of state of a lot of other countries as well, and I think
Yes.
they had precedence
Yes.
in the seating.
And Biden was only put where he was because he was turned up late.
Well, I mean, it is odd to put the US president at the back,
14 rows
and
back.
I kind of get that, but like I said, there's all the Commonwealth ahead of her,
And he did turn up late. He insisted
and,
on using
I'm
the
pretty
beast.
I'm pretty certain it wasn't intended as an insult.
Fair enough. Cat sauce.
Not he was actually called up and specifically not invited.
Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Please don't turn up.
I'm hoping that was a thing. Like they said, yeah, don't come. That would be good.
So
Yeah,
we've got this big funeral going on, and you can't come.
You can't come, right? That would be.
Well,
that's a
someone
thing.
under federal investigation leaving the country is really a no-no.
For
It's
espionage
not
and a
a
number of
good
other
look,
crimes,
is
right?
it?
Yeah.
Let's face facts.
I heard that the Scots were taking him to court for environmental regulations to do with golf courses.
Golf courses, yes. Yes. Now then,
He's going to get
The
you up
Brian.
New York. Yeah.
Yes.
you can answer this how you want to answer it. It doesn't matter. It's fine. But how was your week?
Well, strap in, motherfuckers, because we're going on a ride.
Oh,
Wait, are you
fuck
going to
yes.
have a rant? Are you going to have a rant?
Oh, there might be a couple rants
Yes!
about the legalities of fate and such.
Oh, my baby's
fucking
come
do it,
so
Brian.
far. Look at him. He's growing
Fucking
up.
do it.
So Tuesday, I got in a row with a manager at my company.
Right.
I don't want to get into too many
No,
details.
I don't
but-
think it would be wise, if I'm honest with you.
But they chose to flex on the most bizarre thing you could possibly flex on.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen the messages.
That's a flex.
Oh yeah, sir.
Sir, that's a flex, sir. Needless to say, I had to have a little chat with HR about that incident.
Yeah,
I
I've got to
was
admit,
not.
That was.
involved.
It was very passive aggressively put, wasn't it?
Yes, incredibly passive
It
aggressive.
was.
I pointed that out to HR as well.
Oh, hello, Charlotte. You're here as well. Of course, you're here.
There was that. So Wednesday, I had a nice little heartwarming chat with HR. That's all
okay.
taken care of.
Okay,
I hope.
good.
I don't know.
Well, it's only one way to find out.
Then
Suck it and
Wednesday
see.
night, I decided,
Oh, yes.
I'm going to take a little bit of sleep medication.
The aforementioned.
Seroquel, much
Yes.
lower dosage.
It sounds like something Canadian.
It's actually very good. It's non-habit forming, not
Syracuse from
narcotic.
Syracuse.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I took that, and about 2 seconds after I swallowed the pill,
Yeah.
I received the phone call from my son. Our family cat, Rex, we've had him since my son was 7 years old.
Mm.
He lived with us, and when my son and his girlfriend moved into a new place, they took him with them. Rex was 18 years old,
It's a good age.
and unfortunately, Wednesday night was just his time.
He was a very handsome cat.
He was majestic as fuck.
Yeah.
That cat, if you've seen the pictures that I've posted, that cat knew how to pose.
Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. How is Ty?
Ty is coping, getting back to coping.
Yeah. Because, people said, oh, for fuck's sake, it's only a cat. If you've
It's
not owned a
not just
cat,
a
you've
cat.
no idea of the attachment you actually
Never
need.
owned an
Never-
animal, period. There's something wrong with you, right?
Yeah.
I
Not
get
only that,
more
but-
upset. I get more upset when animals die than people.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
I'm
I can
exactly
deal with
the
people
same.
more easily than animals.
9 times
Doesn't
out of
mean I don't care about people. It's just that with a cat or an animal, they're so totally dependent on you. You
Yes.
feel like you've failed.
Yes.
Yes.
Not that. I just like
The
animals
nice
better
thing
than
is,
people.
though,
Yeah.
Rex went because his heart gave out
Oh, bless.
at 18 years old. It's
It's
probably
it's good.
he went out
It's a
on his
natural
own
age.
term.
That which is
Good age.
most,
Yeah.
most
It
suffering.
wasn't a thing where we had to make a decision to put him down.
That's
This
always good.
was, hey, I've had a good life. This is how I'm going. I'll see you guys on the other side.
Oh, bless him. Well, I'm sorry,
He
Brian.
was-
I truly
He
am.
was a fantastic cat. He used to wait for the bus with my son.
That's very cool.
And they'd go out in the morning. Cat would wait for him, wait with him. He'd get on the bus. Cat would go off, do his thing during the day. I would come off the bus. Cat would come trotting up. They'd come in and have snacks. It
It's
was
funny.
amazing.
People
He was
don't
the best
understand
dog.
cats. Yeah, people don't understand cats. They think cats don't have any personalities or anything else. So they don't fucking know what they're talking about.
Mhm.
Not a clue.
I mean, I've
Yeah,
had
no,
cats most of my adult life and child life, actually. Is that a word? I don't know. But I don't know what I'd do without them, quite frankly.
He was a big cat. He weighed in around 20 pounds or so.
Wow.
That's a
What
big
breed
cat,
was
yeah.
he?
Long hair, American, whatever. He had a lot of Maine Coon in him.
I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
think there was a
Could
touch
tell.
of that in him, yeah.
When you said the weight, I thought that might have been the case.
Yeah,
Mm,
he had
yeah.
a lot in him.
I miss my
He
Maine
was
Coon.
built like a panther, and even in his later years, Cat's 18 years old. He did not look it. He looked like maybe
No?
he was 10 years younger.
No, my Maine Coon, Claudia, she wasn't well when I got her. I just didn't know. But she was slow and a gentle giant. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to have another Maine Coon. I really would. Now then. Okay, gonna regret this. What have you been up to, Sausage?
It's been I'm gonna just say it in a couple
say
of
it.
words,
Say
put
it.
it out there as
Yeah.
short, brief as I can. You know, when your folks need it and you're the only option and it's tech support for your parents,
Yes, no.
put a new
Actually,
computer
no.
into folks, plus new internet, new phone, new everything. So I moved a bunch of their bills into my name and stuff and all because I found my mom was being taken advantage of because she has Alzheimer's, and so I've been battling that. This week is going to be much more battling. So
It's funny. There's about 2-3 people now I know whose parents, whatever, have been completely taken advantage of.
and Dish Network completely sucks. They have some completely amoral scumbag salespeople and guys who came to the door and told my mom when they saw the Roku setup, "Oh no, you're stealing that HBO and that you have to pay us for that."
And that's why you're having trouble now getting her to.
Right, she doesn't
Yeah.
understand, and so I just had all that shit ripped out, and I set up different things on the Roku so she can just sit there and channel flip, with her little. She's got to click the button thing, and that's what she's locked on to. Like she can do that all to her heart's content, and whatever. But getting these people out of her pocket and out of her bank account and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
Exactly.
She was being charged, I think, $160 a month for a 10 MIP internet connection from
Holy.
Comcast. Yeah, I was like, the you say, and lost it, and told him, don't call anymore. There's a letter going from the lawyer, to cease and desist, but they haven't got it yet, I guess. But they called her up the next day, and she just gave her bank card to him, and they went in and cleaned her bank account out and overdrawn her and stuff. So it's
Right, I'll move that, shall I? Sorry, I do
so
apologise.
Spanky, they do know you're in the Marines, right?
yeah, they do now, as a matter of fact. Yeah, because
You might not
when
be
they
able to do
started
anything
swearing, the
yourself.
guy went, "What
but-
branch of service were you in?" And I said Marines, and he shut up real quick. And he went, "I'm sorry about your mom, man. I'll try and straighten this out."
Because even
Too
if you can't
fucking
do it
right.
yourself, you know someone who can. Now, Charlotte has just joined us. She adores
Hello.
Chestnut, and Chestnut's so pissed off he's buggered off. Ah,
Jealous,
the
huh?
jealous games cats play. Cats and little dogs. Her back's to me. Right, my week, bit grumpy, arguing bureaucracy, that's about it. There we go. Look at that.
There you go.
That's not bad for me. Couple of things. I mentioned this last week. I'm going to keep announcing this. Next Friday, Two Fan Dinosaurs is back after its week break. And we're looking at Meglos. Yes, episodes 1 and 2. We're going to talk over for you. Me and Dr. Sinister, who's just there.
Well, to be fair, it's season 18. I don't get much of a chance to talk.
Are you saying I might have a slight soft spot for that particular season?
There's obsessed, and then there's obsessed.
How are you
Obsessed.
spelling that, love?
Obsessed, and then there's Auntie. Right?
SIOB.
So
Yeah,
we're
that's
gonna,
about right.
Sister and I are going to we'll look at the first 2 episodes of Meglos. Then in 2 weeks' time, the last 2 episodes of Meglos. I've got a quiz for you on every each one of those nights. Sinister special quiz, Meglos quiz. Hang on a second. I need to. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yes, quiz tonight, boys. Haven't done it in a while, but tonight's song lyrics connect with something in tonight's show.
What were the song lyrics?
Well, it ain't going to be Space Above and Beyond, is it? 'Cause you don't watch the bloody thing.
Yeah,
I
right.
know, right?
No, we're clear on that one anyway. Yeah.
Berlin is drowning me. Right. So,
Yeah.
as you know, this has been donated, donated
Demoted.
by Stephen
Denoted?
Noonan.
Donated?
And,
A new one.
Yay.
Yay.
AKA the viewer.
The viewer.
No, we have
Our
2.
viewer.
We know
We
you're
have
out there.
2 viewers. And this is going to be one probably towards the end of our watch through of season 18. However, I have plans to get guests on to talk over their own stories. So we'll see how that goes. But complete Blu-ray box set of season 18 will be up for grabs.
There you go.
I'm just trying to boost a little bit of whatchamacallit. There was that. Next week we're doing the Flashing Blade as well. I can't think of anything else. News! There's some interesting stuff coming out. Yes, just where were you, young lady, and did you bring enough for the rest of the class? That's all I'm saying. Right. What was I saying? Yes, there's some interesting books coming out. DWM are reprinting a lot of Dalek strips. Including the Absalom Dark stuff, including the Dave Gibbons Beasts of... Oh, God. I can't remember the name of the title of it. And I was... My memory's just... It just... As soon as I get to whatever it is I need to say, my memory... It's like there's suddenly a big gap, a big blur. And I can't think what it is. Dogs of Doom, the comic strip was called. With the Werelocks. I got there eventually. So I'm looking forward to that. There's also the illustrated version of Doctor Who in an Exciting Adventure with the Daleks. Which is ironic because the original version was illustrated, but this is slightly more illustrated. So I'm looking forward to that. And season 2, of course, coming out on Blu-ray. Oh, am I looking forward to that? Righty-ho. Any more news? Anything going on?
Have you seen the Dalek 6388 video about the TARDIS?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. God, those boys are amazing.
Yeah.
Their attention
Put a
to
link in it, would you
detail-
please?
Their attention to detail is something else.
I'll find you the link.
Please. Thank you very much.
It is a bit dry, but at the same time, it's
Oh
fascinating.
no!
Hang on,
It's
it's fascinating. You know, it's. I think you've got to be of a certain mind to enjoy it properly because of the detail they go into. But for people like me and Sin, it's a case of Daleks. I don't care. It's Daleks. I want to see. I want to know about them. It's it's fascinating, and they're the only people I know who've managed. Sorry, I've just read chat.
Yeah, I just read that too.
Now, did something get stuck somewhere, or did she mean to put attacked?
I believe it was attack.
Okay, righty-ho. That's a terrible thing to take up all the day.
Yes.
What was I saying? You see, you never listen, do you?
Yes.
What was I saying?
Nobody knows.
No. Okay, so that's a mystery. If you know what I was
You were
saying...
talking about Dalek 6388 and what
yes.
the research
Right.
they do.
Yes.
In the upcoming Halloween special.
They've made the music from Death to the Daleks listenable to. In fact,
fuck hell.
enjoyable.
Really?
Well, yes, their opening theme. Da-dun, da-da-da-da-dun. Now imagine that played through saxophones or alto sax anyway, and put through a ring modulator. It's Death to the Daleks. So I think Rhett has been attacked by her keyboard. So
It may have been attached to it.
but please go and visit Dalek 63 to 88 on YouTube. There's some fascinating, absolutely fascinating stuff. It's brilliant. They've also got a Patreon, which you need to go and sign up to. But you also need to sign up to Toby Haydock's Patreon as well.
Toby, yeah.
Because Toby Haydock, thank you. Patreon is worth every penny, quite frankly. And I don't actually give that much, but my God, you're inundated with stuff, and the amount of research you must do for it. I mean, this is a professional actor who's going around. He's got acting gigs, voiceover gigs. He's got comedy gigs, XS Malarkey in Manchester every Tuesday. It's quite amazing. Any old news?
Halloween is coming.
Yes, I was about to say, pretty soon you're going to start dressing up, aren't you?
That would be next week.
Are you going to do it bit by bit, or?
I may just do, little here, little there.
Yeah.
He shows up with lipstick on, right? Then mascara the next day and so on.
That's
right?
why
Maybe
he wears the
pearls to
mask.
start.
Mm-hmm. Or just a set of pearls, right? Nothing but just
And
the
a twin
pearls, because
set.
that's
Just
class
pearls.
right there. That says class. Right.
Pearls.
Just pearls. Nothing
Why
else.
is it, Andrew? Every single conversation between those two heads into the gutter really quickly.
To be frank, that's why we got rid of them.
Yeah.
You did?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We sent all the convicts to Australia.
Oh,
and
I
we
thought you
sent-
meant Brian and
and we-
Spanky.
And we sent all the lunatics to the other side.
Oh, right.
Mhm, yeah. Mhm.
Yes.
Anyway, bye-bye, Australian viewers. Right.
Hello, more American viewers. Yeah, right.
Unclean.
We need to play Bowie's I'm Afraid of Americans right now.
Dear me. Well, like I've said, you're not the only ones. Used to be great lording it over you, no longer. Yeah, we've got. I don't know what it is actually as a prime minister. It is
Mrs. Overall.
Yeah, it's essentially Mrs. Overall as our prime minister. Yeah, Liz Truss. She's like a robot whose strings have been cut. And I'm mixing my metaphors there, but I sort of know what I'm talking about. She's and what they've decided to do is
She's Pinocchio can't.
Hang on.
Recover from that,
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
Yeah, we got to recover. Hang on a second, folks.
They've decided that what they want to do is and all the proof is there from all the countries around the world who've tried this. They decided to go for trickle-down economics. It doesn't
Because
work.
it's worked so well since
It
the 80s.
doesn't work. Even Biden very recently and pointedly said he's sick and tired of hearing about it, and then Liz
Oh my
Truss
God.
turns up the following
One-
day to say,
the
"Oh,
one
everyone
thing-
should do this."
They had to bring up from the Reagan years that they never should have touched, right? They had to pick on that.
So as a result, we've had a fiscal event.
Yeah.
I know. Or rather, as Liz Truss would say, I know. Isn't it amazing? Yeah, the
That's the voice you need to keep using for Ghost Hunter.
no.
Yeah.
That's too high. I'd have to practice at that. The actually reminded me of
That's what we're
something
caught
else.
in now.
Yes. So they're basically they've cut tax left, right, and centre. Got rid of the highest rate of tax completely, and basically, it turns out that the poorest are at the very most not getting anything out of it. But some people are actually going to be worse off, and the richest are going to be fucking rolling in it. So somebody said an interesting theory to me. They know they can't win the next election, so they're going to make as much money for their mates as they can.
Smart.
It's a thought. Andrew, your thoughts on this? Because you do understand politics. Well, British politics, anyway. I know you're playing Tropico 6.
A bit disillusioned with it all, to be honest. I'll be honest with you. I've not been, since Boris left, I've not been paying a huge amount to British politics. My major concerns are about the impending World War III.
I thought
Yeah.
you said we shouldn't worry about that.
I am getting more worried about it every day.
Well, if you're getting more worried about it every day,
The
that
level of
means I'm now
concerns
shitting
vary.
myself.
From day to day, yes.
Worry
The level
levels.
of shitstorm this thing is
Because-
happening.
Because what you've got is you've got a situation where you've got a guy sitting in a bunker who knows that he's losing a war and knows that his head's on the block and has been proven to do anything to stay in power.
Surely, if he presses the button and he survives in his bunker and everything, surely somebody would then put a gun to his head.
There is some debate as to, by the way, don't call me Shirley.
Sorry.
There is some debate as to whether he would even be allowed to press the button. There are something like 3 or 4. The Russian nuclear doctrine has 3 or 4 reasons to launch nuclear weapons, one of which is a threat to the state. Now, if he on Tuesday would inevitably he's going to say these 2 regions are now part of Russia. Any attack on these 2 regions is an attack on Russia.
Back on the state. Yep.
Then that's an attack on the state, and he will feel justified. Now, there is suggested that somebody at that point will say no and put a bullet in his head. However, you're dealing with a government and an organisation that spent the last 20 years making money for themselves.
But
Yeah.
surely they'd be able to see that they're not going to be
He
able
is-
to make the money if he carries on like he's going. I mean,
Once again, don't call me Shirley. Possibly.
He is the richest man on the planet. You'd think he would try and just
the planet?
back out of this.
The
Yeah.
planet? What is it?
The planet. Our planet.
It's a round thing with people on, but that's not important right now.
Fun stuff. Yeah.
Well done, boys. You don't let me
Just
down.
back out of this whole Ukraine thing. Let the sanctions drop. We had access to his funds again, and then beat feet. Private island somewhere with his own Blackwater crew. Only the Valkyries or whatever the hell it is they've
Wagner
got there.
group.
Got
Wagner
Triangle
group.
crew, right? Get a bunch of those guys out there. Pay him real well to keep him alive for the next 10 or 15 years he's got left or whatever, with all of his little clones, and try and
I
just
find
survive those few
one
years.
thing-
But
one thing interesting about all this, above and beyond everything else,
Space?
Wagner was one of Hitler's favorite authors.
Yeah, composers, yes. I know.
Yeah.
I was going to go there myself. Yes.
And does anybody else find it odd that the Russian mercenary group is named
Named
The
Wagner?
after-
Russia.
right.
Well, yes.
When
but
when they are allegedly denazifying
well, they've
Ukraine.
got to Nazify
Yeah.
it first to denazify it.
Do you
Yeah.
guys want to know something particularly
Nazi.
scary that's happened this week?
You could remove them.
How many legs did it have?
More?
NATO planes have switched off transponders this week,
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
which means
they're
they
hard
can
to
no
track.
longer be tracked.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from some radars.
So they can do things like fly over Ukraine and Russia, for example.
They can
Yeah.
do well. Basically, it means that if it all kicks off, nobody actually knows where they are.
Yeah.
Sense. Does make sense, to be fair.
With the stealth fighters, yeah, and the bombers, those guys are, we could have one in Moscow in an hour or two.
Could we possibly
But
move on
still-
from this, please?
I just want to say one more thing as an
Oh.
American.
Yeah.
I'll
Sorry?
get out the cowboy hat and we'll ride the nuke in. Yeehaw!
Yeah, right.
Well, that's
Mhm.
nice, boys and girls. Don't worry, I'll use
Oh,
my...
And then there were rumors last night on Indian media that President Xi Jinping was under house arrest.
I heard that, but there's been nothing on the BBC.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about
No.
that on the news.
Perhaps they're waiting to confirm and having trouble doing
Right,
that.
Indian media was reporting that most flights in China had been grounded, and there was an 80-mile convoy heading into Beijing of military vehicles.
Well, again, why has that not been anywhere else?
Might be bullshit.
I was about to say, we're going to move on from this because it's gloomy and this isn't what the show is supposed to be. Yeah, we're political, but I don't want it to get gloomy. Forgotten what I was going to say now. Anyway, so yeah. Oh yeah, that's it. Last week, our show lasted 1.5 hours. Normally, our show lasts approximately 2 hours or more. Brian wasn't here last week, so using science, we've worked out that we each contribute half an hour, thereabouts, to the show.
That sounds about right.
We've been going half an hour already.
The fecal material. Yeah, that's right.
So who gets to dial off?
That's an 80s reference? No, 90s reference. Sorry. Yes. Anyway, shall we do what we came here for?
No.
What did we come here for?
Well, you'll find out any second now. And now, from the worlds of BBC Television's Doctor Who, by the moons of madness, it's Doctor Who. That was the wrong file. Oops.
Nothing but professionals here.
The eagle-eyed viewers amongst you may have noticed something might possibly have gone wrong with that. And by the way, Sinister, you're now
Don't worry,
called
we'll fix it in
Sinciter.
post.
Yeah, Sinciter. By the way, when you played that first file, it came up on Twitch as FB Titkeys.
Yes. That's not exact. That's basically supposed to be FB titles, but I hit the
know.
K instead of the L.
Hit keys.
Right.
Yeah.
I think as one of those autocorrect things, I prefer that. Tit keys is much better. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Flashing Blade always setting that bar
Somewhere.
really,
Really low.
Somewhere. We're not sure where.
It exists. We've seen microscopic accounts.
There's
It's
pictures.
it's not so much a bar these days as more of a monofilament.
Micrometers. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, you see, there's going to be a new golden age of prosperity. It's the fucking Tories again. You can tell. Look for the signs in the sky, the lights in the sky. They change, and suddenly all sorts of jewels and everything will be in the streets. Praise be to the captain. Meanwhile, a fourth Doctor Who, possibly on a Sunday. I don't know. The second Roman of Ratchalunda and the second K9 are tracking the second piece of the Key to Time. And it's on Calufrax. Bit of a gloomy, damp planet, but what the hell. However, when the TARDIS tries to materialise there, no, that's not happening. Almost time ram, quite frankly. And, yeah. Then they land again, except it doesn't look like Calufrax. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you haven't guessed it, we looked at the pirate planet. By the tiny, beady, fiery eyes of the Sky Demon, there's only one person right this second I want to talk about this. It's Dr. Sinister, just there. Talk.
By the left temporal lobe of the Sky Demon, I will talk about it, Mr. Fibuli. This show's mental.
It is. That's the review. That's it.
Great depiction of early onset cyberpsychosis, right? Like, good stuff.
So there's this planet, you see, and it's hollow.
Yeah.
And it's going around.
Spoilers.
And it's materializing around other planets and nicking all their stuff.
Yeah.
And when they really get a move on, they can do so pretty quickly, within hours, it turns out.
Well, look what happened to Calufrax.
Yeah. I thought the scenes where they actually went down to Calufrax were very well done, actually.
So do I.
Doctor working it all out. But I'll be honest with you, I'd completely forgotten there were location bits in this story. I haven't seen it for a while. So you've got location scenes of a door.
Yes. Important.
and the Mentiads walking along a hill.
Are they walking quickly and with purpose, or fairly slowly
yeah.
ambling?
I think they were strolling.
Strolling Mentiads. Every
strolling.
home should have one.
Strolling meant
There's a shitload to unpack in this because you've
Well, who's
got
it
the
written by,
return.
first of all.
Well, I mean, you can tell by some of the dialogue. I mean, you've got the Doctor talking to the guards about job satisfaction, for one thing.
I'll never be
If
cruel
that
to
isn't
an
a hitchhiker,
Yeah.
if that isn't a hitchhiker's thing, I don't know what is.
I'll never be cruel to an electron in a particle accelerator
Yeah.
again.
Yeah,
Right.
there's lots of
It's
stuff like
Douglas
that.
Adams, for those that don't know.
So there's a crap ton of stuff to unpack here, because
Do it.
you've got that the planet used to be ruled by this evil queen who just apparently just liked to go around killing things and brought the planet to ruin. Then this mysterious captain turns up and sort of says, right, I'm in charge
Hang
now.
on. It wasn't rack and ruin, was it? Because that would explain the captain.
Yeah. So then this
Clever
mysterious
Doctor Who
captain
joke.
turns up and says, I'm in charge now, and announces to everybody every now and then a new golden age, and all their mines magically fill up. It's a miracle. No one ever actually goes down to the mines, of course. They all send machines down there, so no one really knows what's going on. So you've got the captain keeping the shriveled husks of planets in stasis as
Best server room
apparently a plan to actually bump off the queen who's in charge of the whole thing. Meanwhile, she's dead, but she's not, because she's trying to come back.
But she's basically held in the last seconds of life. And
yes.
slowly aging as the time dams that are keeping her there. And the power of those time dams is the shrunken planets.
And can I just say how convenient it is for the search for the key to time that this situation had arisen, because had the Doctor and Romana gone looking for the key to time, landed on Califrax, realised it was the planet, and then turned it into whatever, they would have been a bit buggered.
It would have been a lot darker until the very end. It's a case of when, first of all, they put Princess Astra back, and then give it the game away, and they could ask for Califrax and its people to come back, a bit like the blip in Marvel.
It was empty though. It was dead planet, I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's hyper compressed, so there's no way that people could have survived.
No. I think they said it was unpopulated.
Oh, I don't
It said a
know.
couple of
Populated, right?
times. The Doctor said it was unpopulated.
We'll be looking at the key to time on Two Fan Dinosaurs fairly soon, I should imagine. I don't know. It's Andrew's choice next.
Anyway, the pirate captain's a bit of a nut job, really. He's not really in charge, but he thinks he is, and he's half robot, and he's got a parrot, and he doesn't like Mr. Fibuli very much.
Oh, poor Mr. He loves Mr. Fibuli. That's just it. You'll notice he keeps threatening Fibuli, but nothing ever happens to him.
And then kills someone else.
Yeah. And so it's essentially the Ronson, Bunsen, and Beaker situation that we decided when we cast a Muppet Genesis of the Daleks.
And then to throw
Which I
everything
want
else
to
into
see.
the mix, you've got the Mentiads, who are psychic beings being created by the life force of the planets that are being destroyed. So there's a hell of a lot of plot in this.
Oh, God, yes. Originally, there was just far too much. Because the original story, boys, in case you don't know, was basically there was this huge statue in the middle of the main city of a town. And in that statue...
Was a sea devil.
No, it was a Time Lord device meant to keep the population calm.
Because I was going to say John Levine, but see, that was better.
I don't know. But unfortunately, it was going a bit wonky, and the Time Lord they're looking after had gone a bit batshit crazy. And that's where the original thing started from. And they sort of went, how the hell are we going to do this? It's 1978. Inflation's gone through the roof. Can somebody check the date for me, please? Are we not? Are we in the 70s or are we in the Oh,
Can I-
2020.
Can I point out though, inflation might have gone through the roof, but the production could still afford a speedboat.
Yes, and put wheels on it. That was one of the unclaimed prizes from Bullseye. Or whatever that was around then.
I also, just before, there's a particularly fantastic bit by the Doctor in episode 3 where he's being shown all the shrunken planets, and he has a proper.
It's Tom
He has a proper.
loses it, doesn't he?
What's it for? It's this kind of.
I don't
It's
understand. I
absolutely-
just cannot understand why you've done this.
You just created this toy.
Yeah. A brilliantly
It's just,
conceived toy. But
Yeah,
Charlotte,
and then
what
you've-
are you doing?
Then you've got things like the walkway with all inertia removed.
Yeah.
That's quite fun. Yeah, I could go on about this for a long time, but I'm not going to.
Well, let's
The
say
third Doctor had a car with no inertia, right? So
No, it had inertia.
wasn't it him?
It had there was inertia, however,
Or an
the
inertia
device,
damper?
Yes, it would suck the inertia up when you braked, so you didn't go through the window.
It stopped on it and can make like right angle turns or something, right?
Yeah, it basically it's similar to what they have in Starfleet, so they don't smear.
It
that
was
wall.
basically the car from that computer show with Desi Arnaz Jr. and the cursor and all that. Remember what the hell was that called?
Inside
Automan.
Spanky's Scary Head.
Automan. There we go.
Okay,
I didn't want to be the one to say it, but
K9 actually makes a brilliant joke here. I love
She's more
this.
attractive than you.
Well, apart from that, but no. It's he starts a countdown to when the Doctor's going to turn up, and he gets
Yes.
it pitch perfect. And K9 and the Doctor walks in. Hello, K9. Surprised to see me. Amazed, Master.
amazing, Master.
it's just, and the way he performs it is so dry and almost sarky. That's a lovely moment. Brian,
Yes.
before I set the polyphase Avatron on you, or Charlotte as she's known, would you like to talk to us about Doctor Who and
Well-
the Pirate Planet?
The last time we reviewed it, I said a lot about it.
I can't remember.
This time, I'm just going to bring up that he had a cyborg parrot
Mhm.
Hmm.
that was like a bird of prey. And I kind of love that.
Well, I mean, apart from it being a Douglas Adamsy thing, don't you think it's just we've got a parrot, we've got a pirate captain. Let's give him a
We need a
robot
parrot.
parrot.
Yeah.
They can fight K9 to. Oh, it'll be brilliant. And but
Yeah,
how does
exactly.
the Polyphase Avatron fight K9? It shits on him.
This is why K9 has lasers.
I've never really liked K9's laser effect. His
Yeah,
his
the
laser
little nose thingy.
his nose goes down like that, and the beam comes out.
Oh, there's some
yeah.
corkers. There are some corkers
Yeah.
over the years. There are. Carry on, please, Brian.
Oh, I that's all I wanted to bring up. I loved it. I love this episode.
The book, the novelization, the original novelization was a hardback by James Goss. And obviously he went through the Douglas Adams archive and found lots.
I will say I am sad about one thing.
I'll stop talking. Go on.
Mary Tam's wardrobe was altered for this.
Moving
For
on.
this episode.
Prevert.
This ain't Silver Dress.
What was I saying? Oh, yes, the novelization. I swear he takes his entire
Does it have a
week
silver
out.
dress in it?
No. It was a white dress, by the way. I
silver.
swear he saves up all the frustrations of the week for Friday and for Saturday and Sunday nights. Now, we didn't have anything happen last night, so you watch him steam. He's going to go for it. It's fascinating. There's a lot of stuff thrown back in, and I love James Goss's writing anyway. He's my favourite current Doctor Who writer. And the books and his big finishes, it's lovely. Anyway, and then they re-released it as a Target book, but it was stripped right down to the basic story, rather than this huge hardback, which is delightful, quite frankly. Spanky,
Yes, ma'am. So,
can I just ask, are you Batman?
well, I'm not going to say that. I'm just going to say you've never seen me and Bruce Wayne
What
in
at
a room
all?
at the same time
In the room
together.
at the same time together. That's a fair comment. He's not lying, is he?
Accurate.
Yeah, fair.
They have been in the same chat together though, because I know I'm Batman.
There you have it.
So he pays
We
you.
do pride
to
ourselves
run-
for accuracy here at the Blade. Just
So
ask the
he's a
future
Bat
for-
fan.
Right.
Bat fan.
Okay.
Mhm.
Which one? Of
I
you-
am. I, however,
Yes.
am Fat Man.
Batman.
Fat Man.
I was working on that today. I was trying to get there, but
In case you're wondering, boys and girls, I genuinely have no idea what's happened to the show right now. We're going to see what happens.
yeah. How did we get this good?
I'm
We're
not
going to
like
try and
that
come back
fat,
to things in a
really.
moment.
I'm a little bit.
It's-
I'm a little bit porky, but I'm not like super
it's-
fat.
I don't know what to do. You know, I can't
Needs
control
to be
them.
super fat. I'm
Adam
just
would
pretty
suggest
fat
shock
now.
collars, and quite frankly, I like the idea of having shock
Yeah.
collars. I could.
No,
Trouble is,
no.
there'd be a pause as the electricity travels over the Atlantic, but,
Mhm.
and then it would hit the American power grid, which, as we all know, is crap. So
See, the
you know-
ASPCA forbids you from putting shock collars on us again. So no, right?
Oh, I was having so much fun last time as well. It's just
It happens.
wonderful,
hmm
wonderful.
So-
Anyway, carry on, please.
Douglas Adams wrote, what is it, 3 different stories, I think, for Doctor Who, was it?
Yes, he obviously a
This is the only one
editor,
I know, though.
He had input. On. Spanky, are you telling me you've never seen the City of Death?
I think I've seen City of Death. I don't know. I'll have to check.
It was set in
'Cause I
Paris.
can't remember it with the Dame Bramage from, who knows.
If I say it was set in Paris about the Mona Lisa,
Oh, I might have seen that.
Lala Ward in a schoolgirl outfit.
Ooh, okay. 1 second.
we will do City of Death for you,
We'll
Spanky.
be
I
doing
don't.
City of
Chat.
Death.
Chat. Well, Retta's never seen City of Death. We will do City of Death at some stage very soon once we finish the Key to Time. And
Mm,
we've got our Pertwee special out of the way. More on that story later.
right, we have a lot to do.
Retta, City of Death, for technical reasons, is the highest rated Doctor Who story in history.
Yeah.
Ludicrous
In terms of-
ratings.
Viewers, yes.
Absolutely
Um,
ludicrous amount.
The
Do you want to
reason,
tell them
the
why?
reason being that ITV was on strike and it was the only channel that was on.
You either had BBC One.
No, no,
You either had
Reddit. It's
It's a colour
70s.
one.
It's the 4th Doctor. It's in colour.
You either had BBC One or BBC Two and no ITV. And it's a case of, all right, then everyone's going to watch City of Death.
Right?
And fair dues, but pure luck, it was a corker of a show. We won't be doing it just yet. Like I say, we've got the rest of the Key to Time to do, which is another 4 weeks. And then we've got a Pertwee special. Where we'll be looking at not Ambassador Death, sorry, Brian, Inferno, the Claws of Axos, and one other that'll be chosen by our guest.
You should watch City of Death. It is perfection, and it's got John Cleese in it.
It's exquisite, simply
Now,
exquisite.
well, the reason why I segued to that was honestly because wasn't there an episode, like a lost episode or something that he did
Shudder.
that was supposed to be animated? Yeah.
Shudder.
So I was going to ask about that later, but I thought it was great because you could see
Which
so much of.
version? Sorry. There's
I
been
thought
many,
there was so
many
much of
versions.
Douglas Adams actually in the episode. The parrot, the parrot on the shoulder and all of that, and
Do you know he was writing Hitchhikers at exactly the same time? Both commissions came in at once.
that was at the same time, was it?
The first series of
Wow,
Hitchhikers,
cool.
yeah.
Douglas Adams
First
said.
series was
Douglas Adams
Really
said the only way, if you're unemployed, the only way to get a job is to already have one.
Hmm.
He
basically right.
because he picked up script editor for Doctor Who and Hitchhikers almost virtually simultaneously.
Well, hang on.
Um,
Didn't he get commissioned for Pirate Planet and Hitchhikers at the same time? And it's only
Yeah.
afterwards he got the script editor position. He must have thought, well, I can do that as well
Right.
as the second series of Hitchhikers, and then realised, what the fuck have I got myself into?
Yeah, it'd be a massive
Series
thing to bite off, right?
Series 17, the 1979 series, they suffer so badly from inflation. Their budget hardly goes anywhere. And on top of that, you've got Douglas Adams' wit in the script, and he's quoted as saying, when you put something in like that, you expect it to be funny, but you don't expect the actors to think they could put on funny voices and whatever.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
She
gone.
froze again.
Ah,
No, she's back.
okay. Where did I get up to?
you said when you put something in a script like that, you expect it to be funny.
And
yes.
that was it, right?
But what you don't want, the way it'll be funny, is if the people play it straight. No silly voices, nothing else like that. And to be fair, I think we can say certainly Julian Glover in City of Death did exactly that. He played it dead straight. Probably one of the best villains there ever was. Mind you, he had the dialogue for it. We're moving ahead. Carry on, Pirate Planet. Sorry, Spanky.
I did like the soccer ball collection, basically, of denatured planets. I thought that was great, and the Doctor's reaction is, but why, right? Like, can you not grasp the psychotic mind of, the cyber psychosis of this individual who basically could really just use a bunch of super science essentially developed purely so he would have bragging rights about civilizations he had utterly destroyed. Yeah, absolutely. Like, who would want,
Well, no,
genocide trophies,
they
basically.
were kept there as part of the whole time damn thing.
Well, that was part of the time, damn, yeah, but for him it was honestly
it
more
was
of
the
a...
trophy room, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like somebody having, a room full of heads.
There you go. Exactly. That was his wall o' heads. Yeah.
Hello, Adam. He has heads.
But,
I'm just
I
saying.
did like the,
I know.
K9 versus the cyber
Polyphase
parrot with
Avatron.
Boom. Oh, I loved that. That was great. And then K9 comes back with the parrot corpse, and I'm like, yeah, that had to happen. But I'm sorry, with the joke you mentioned, I just want to point out that K9's AI is so much smarter than they let K9 show.
Oh,
in the
he's
show.
smarter than the Doctor. He's smarter than
I
Romana.
am right there, right. He is so much smarter than he is allowed to be.
Subservience, though.
He's a magic item.
Yeah.
Did you notice Tom's lip?
He's
I
an
did
artifact.
mention this last week.
He's going to say something about, poor Tom, it's a bad time for an outbreak, man. I'm sorry.
Do you want to know what it actually was?
Dog
Bitten
bite?
by a dog.
He was bitten by a
Got
dog.
bit by
He
a
got
dog?
told, don't do this to this particular dog. He doesn't like it. And, of course, that's grist to the mill for Tom. He just went for it, and the dog bit him on the
And
lip.
got bit.
There's photos of him, this huge old-fashioned plaster. You'd call them a Band-Aid, I suppose. Up there, and, yeah. It was a bit nasty at times. Ugh.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's
That's why he slammed his face into the TARDIS console.
Yeah.
yes.
Bonk, right? Mm-hmm. To
All
go.
about that. Yes, you're quite right.
Huh? They did a little cover for that, yeah.
Fair dues.
That was interesting because they actually had to do something to cover up that, the outbreak was there, or the injury, or whatever it was, that, because...
What should have had is have him attacked by a dog.
They could have had him just
The
get
only
bitten by a
dog on the
dog,
show is
right? That would've
K9,
been
though.
good.
They could have brought that dog in, as
What are they going to do? Make the robot dog rabid?
Uh-huh. That's it.
One thing I don't quite
Sorry.
understand here.
Thinking about that.
In episode 1,
All the ticker tape. Sorry.
they meet this guy who says, we're all fabulously rich. Would you like some diamonds? The problem with that is, unless you're allowed off the planet, which you're not,
How do you know that diamonds are valuable, right?
It's
Well,
not just
if
that.
everyone's got-
If everyone's got them,
they're worthless.
yeah.
Well,
The
here's the
value
other
just
thing about
vanishes.
diamonds, too. Actually, there are a lot more diamonds than we know that there are. They're actually hoarded and released in small amounts to the public so that their value is kept artificially high.
Well,
I'm
Here's-
just going
here's
to
the
blow
other
my
thing.
nose, and I'll let you. Their conspiracy stuff.
Here's the other thing:
that's
is
a real thing.
I think the rarity of diamonds is irrelevant now because you can now manufacture them.
You can manufacture them, right? Who
Yeah.
cares?
There's nothing to it. De Beers
That's about diamonds, who
actually
cares?
is afraid of us realizing
Yeah.
how cheap diamonds are.
I was once
They're dirt cheap.
I was once at a meeting in London, a big high-rise building, and we were on a bit of a break, and I was looking out the window, and on the building next to us, a helicopter was coming in to land on the building next to us. And these two guys come up from the stairwell, and they're standing on, and they're like proper suited up. They look like James Bond, basically. Another James Bond guy comes out, and he's got a briefcase handcuffed to him. Turns out that's the De Beers building.
Yep.
And he was just flying in with a shipment. And I thought, wow, that was pretty amazing. But like I say, you can manufacture diamonds now, and the scarcity is soon going to become pretty irrelevant.
Interesting. And sorry, we're now linking to the Stones of Blood.
I would hope.
Fascinating.
Well, they do try and complain a lot about that, the diamond merchants or whatever, because man-made diamonds have no flaws.
Yeah.
And so a flawless diamond is apparently inferior, according to the merchants, to a natural diamond, which is what they want to charge all the money for.
I was just going to say, have
know,
they got any particular reason to do this? I mean,
Yes.
do
wanna
they
keep
have a
making
stake
money
in this
hand over
game?
fist. Yeah, right. That's it. So,
Yes.
I thought that, all these wickedly rare gems, it was just funny that, on a planet that had access to such wealth and they're never off the planet, how do they know that it's valuable? Wouldn't these just be, colored rocks that their kids played with, shot marbles with or something? Like, I think that, what would be wealthy to a planet that basically leapt from one planet to another, gobbling the entire planet up as your, basis for your GDP or whatever. So what do they produce other than, soccer ball sized compressed mounds of,
to
planet
be fair, the
remains?
society itself hasn't been properly looked at. I mean, where's their food coming from, for example?
Exactly, right? So who knows?
But
right?
anyway, hang on. Shit, I was going to say something.
We kind of got sidetracked there. I'm sure I had more to say, but I forgot
Beers,
what now.
Conspiracy, diamond inflation.
Diamonds, conspiracies,
Chinese
yeah.
trigger.
Rocks, they didn't know it was wealthy. Douglas Adams, funny. K9 ate a space robot parrot. That was fucking cool. What else?
Hello there.
That's
Welcome
right,
to the Flash and Blade podcast. I'm Siobhan.
Yeah.
Burden
Yeah,
is
we're gonna have
killing
to
me.
start all over
Let's
again.
meet the
Yeah.
Plucky Girl assistants.
Oh, God.
Oh God, she's
We're
rewound.
stuck in a chronic history. Yes, we're stuck
There we
in a
are.
chronic history.
So
That's a
I think I'm actually done
nothing
talking about
gonna
this episode. Yay!
her again.
We'll
Right.
pass it on to whoever hasn't spoken.
We've all
She's on.
spoken. We've all done
Oh,
speaking.
have we?
We
Okay,
have.
we've done speaking.
That was the Pirate Planet, Doctor Who, and the.
Our planet.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say we all love it. Oddly enough, back in the day, it was considered one of the weakest.
Great.
But the weakest,
That's awesome.
I'm afraid, are yet to come. We've had two.
Douglas
corpus.
Adams wrote it. It couldn't be bad.
Silver-
Hey,
Amazon.
don't you knock Kroll.
I
Kroll is
put a
awesome.
poster on Facebook. The camera didn't do it justice, but it looked like Kroll with some tentacles coming down that
Yeah.
cloud.
Roll is awesome. It's the silver Amazon woman I'm afraid of.
What silver Amazon woman?
You'll see.
You'll see in the
hang
next
on, the
one,
Caliac.
yeah.
Of course,
Yeah,
it's the Caliac.
Stones of blood.
Of course.
I have a problem with
coming.
that one though, but we're not going to go there yet.
I mean, death by snoo snoo, but still.
Death by Snooze
You wanna
would have been
know-
cool, but
Do you want to know my totally irrelevant key to time story?
Oh, please, yes.
Sure.
Irrelevance is what we do.
So, back in the relatively early days of the DVDs being released, I've got them all over here in TARDIS cabinets. The US got a box set of the Key to Time
They did.
very early in the run, actually. And I was like, when's this going to be coming out over here? And there was no news. And for years, there was no news. Next year, no news, no news. No. Eventually, I snapped and I thought, fuck it. I'm ordering one from the States. I've got a multi-region player, no problem. The week after I ordered it,
No.
they announced
No.
they would be bringing out one in the UK. Now, I'd like to say, I think everybody on this planet should say thank you to me,
Thanks, Andrew.
because if I hadn't ordered that copy from the
Yes.
US,
Yes.
you still wouldn't have it
No.
in the UK.
No.
I just have a
Quite right.
small point of
I'm
note.
incredibly grateful to you. Thank you. Yes,
Us
Brian.
Americans have
No.
nothing to say thank you for. We already had it.
yeah.
Ooh, yeah, but hang on. I was about to say he's got nukes, but so have you.
Yeah.
Ooh, this could
So,
go very
Garrett's
wrong
right.
very quite quickly.
Mhm.
Anyway, anybody guessed the link to the song lyric thing yet?
What were the lyrics again?
I've said them twice already. Berlin is drowning me. Okay.
I got
was
an
that
answer.
song, you know,
I know what it
the
is.
Berlin, the band, and the
No, take my breath away. No.
like hearing the thing.
I got it.
Go on. Go on.
John Hurt, 1984.
Oh, see, that's what I was gonna say.
You're wrong. But we'll find out. Spanky, how much of...
Take my breath away. Wasn't that it? Yeah.
What? What?
Okay.
What?
Nothing. Berlin, take my breath away. That's what you gave it out, and I'm just like.
It must be a
99
Callan
loose
reference.
Well, wait and see. But Spanky, did you listen to the audio, the Big Finish audio this week?
I only got the first one,
That's all
which
right.
I enjoyed tremendously.
As indeed did I. It's Betty Summerfield and
Like David Warner and Lisa Bowerman really play well off each other. And there's a reason for that. Yes, I'm not going there, but I mean, like, they just worked very well together, you know, in the show or whatever you want to call it. It was great. It was awesome.
sorry, I've just seen what Brian wrote in chat. Yeah.
Haru?
So basically, as people may or may not know, David Warner plays an unbound doctor, originally heard in Sympathy for the Devil from the original Unbound run of stories. They did a second one, which was essentially a retelling of the Daleks, but very different. Indeed, almost what the original story outline for the Daleks was. And then Benny ended up in his universe, which was dying, and he ended up as president of the universe, and it all went to pot, and they both ended up in the normal Doctor universe. So there's this unbound Doctor going around in a TARDIS with Benny Summerfield. Those who don't know Benny Summerfield, Seventh Doctor companion from the Virgin New Adventures, and she's bloody brilliant. Yeah. So they land in a city. What city was it, Spanky?
Berlin.
Where?
Berlin.
Lots of rain there, wasn't there?
Lots of snow
Well, no. There was a lot of rain at one point.
at one point.
Yeah, there was a lot of rain. You could almost say that Berlin was drowning you.
You would say it was Burnham was drowning. Yes. I did like the line about they're all starving miserably, but we're starving
I
fabulously.
Sorry,
Worked so
can I play
hard.
red? Can I play a red card here?
Oh, this is going to be
Yes.
interesting, yeah?
How the fuck is Ian Me supposed to get the reference to the songs if we haven't listened to the material?
Whose problem's that? Who doesn't put
Yours.
the effort in?
Yours.
Your
It's all your
problem.
fault.
Okay.
It's all Kroll's fault.
May I
By a quorum of
May
popular
I?
consent.
reply to your question with a
No.
question of my own? Okay.
Definitely not.
Do
There are no questions.
I care?
Should you care?
Should you care? Is the
Do
more
you
important
have
Do
the
I
right?
have the right?
Can I say you've let Brian down?
Yes.
You've let me down,
Yeah.
but most of all,
Yeah.
you've let yourself down.
I needed to lose weight. Oh, well, life
Top
is
of all
hard.
that, you've let the audience down.
No, I think the audience is quite happy. She loves it when I get a comeuppance. That's why I play the character I play. I am not really like this, boys and girls. No, I'm not. I'm normally hyper when I do this, and then I've got to try and calm myself down. So anyway, they land in Berlin, and and the Doctor's got a beepy device. And he's discovered
Very
energy
beepy.
readings that shouldn't be there. It's Berlin during the fag end of the Weimar Republic, the start of Hitler. So it always feels... I don't know what it is about that time period. It always feels dusty. I don't know why. It's just my mental image of it is it just
the
feels...
grainy black
Berlin.
and white footage.
Yeah.
I mean,
What year? What era? Sorry, what year?
End of the Weimar Republic,
30s.
start of Hitler's stuff. Right?
yeah. Right before Hitler gets power.
I think it's just after.
Dusty.
I'm not sure. I don't think he was in power yet because weren't they?
I
They
don't know
mentioned
why.
something about the fascism.
Hitler was
thing.
elected in January 1933.
Mm.
You know he's not a role model, don't you?
Can I just say, He was elected.
I know.
Elected.
Which
So was Trump.
Elected.
exactly.
Yes.
We don't learn from our mistakes. We're humans, Retty. You
No
don't
one
get
does,
a vote.
right? As long as
Um,
people
Can I
will
just say
not learn
that,
from
that
history.
if we're being technically right,
Technically.
I'm not justifying it. Technically, everything done in Nazi Germany was legal. That's the scary thing.
Mm.
It was all
Legal.
legal.
All legal.
Yeah.
No, that there was no justification there whatsoever, Andrew. That
No
was just
justification.
Oh no,
Absolutely
It
not.
was immoral.
There was not.
It was
It was
incredibly
completely
immoral.
Oh, of course
completely
it was.
unethical.
But I mean, you
But
know,
Mm,
that
according to
was
international law,
stating
also
the
illegal.
fact
Made it
without
all
admiration.
Right.
So if
But
anybody wants to
the
complain about
terrifying
that,
thing
you come
is-
to me.
Well, no, the terrifying thing is though that you can twist a nation around to where that would be internationally illegal, it could
Yep.
be unethical, immoral, and everything else. Within the borders of that one nation, that was all legal,
Jersey.
which we are seeing sort of a parallel to
Now.
that kind of crap here in America right now with the abortion games they're playing and other things that people are trying to make some pretty horrifying things legal, which is ridiculous.
when you dehumanize a whole bunch of people,
Hello.
Yep.
it becomes legal to do what you want with them.
And you
Exactly.
can fuck right off.
We can do anything we want. Our cause is so just. No matter what evil we do, we're the good guys. It's okay. Screw that. No
9
way.
times out of 10, God is with them.
They're calling
and
the Ukrainians. They're saying, you know, that guy whose daughter got blown up in Russia.
Yes.
The Russian
Yep.
architect
Yeah.
of the invasion.
Yeah, he's basically saying that they're not human. They're subhuman. They should all be
Yeah.
exterminated. You know,
Right.
it's just
crap like that
yeah.
opens too many doors for stupidity. And when you put people in groups, they get stupid anyway. Then you add crap like that into the mix, and the stupid becomes vicious stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm really sorry
Yeah.
to do this. It's just we're getting gloomy again.
We are. It's a
And-
gloomy day.
It's
It
and
is
I
raining
don't.
and it
Whilst
is-
I have no problem talking politics, this is a bit depressing for people. I think people basically tune into this to try and
I
forget.
heard him out there, but
You know, they want to look at 4 idiots rather than
oh my
Well,
God, we are
people
far
actually
idiots.
talk.
That's true.
that's 5, Andrew. Yes, quite so. They don't make a huge deal about the rise of the Nazis, to be fair. And you've got to remember, Benny has had her own run-in with the SS on the island of Guernsey in the Virgin New Adventure Just War, which was one of the first of the Big Finish releases. No Doctor Who. This is before they had the Doctor Who license. So they produced Bernie's Summerfield plays and then went to the BBC and said, this is what we can actually do. And the BBC went, oh, that's actually quite good. Yeah, all right, we'll give you a license. So Benny is very, very close to a lot of fans' hearts. It's she's somebody special. And no, don't go there, Siobhan. Don't go there. Yeah. So, the second story, basically there's Cybermen there. There's no surprise, they're on the cover. And they're doing something very interesting, which to a certain extent reminded me of the evolution of the Daleks. And Hooverville. The, oh dear. The
Bugger
second
me, I
sto-
didn't say I was muted. Damn it.
Go on, Spanky. So give us your thoughts on this.
No,
story.
I was saying that I thought I was making observations and stuff along the way, and now I got annoyed at myself. Forgot what I was going to say, but that was the parallel with the Nazis, right? Instead of the undesirables going into the camps, right? The Cybermen were using them as a basis for more Cybermen. So yeah,
It has a very horrific set of scenes towards
Yep.
the end, which we're not going to tell you about, but be
Right.
warned.
it was fun getting to watch the Doctor bully Cybermen, though. He gets to bully them
Well,
for a
I
bit
was
there. and
about
that
to
was cool.
say, what do you make of this Doctor's character? Because this is your first
I like
instance.
this Doctor a lot.
He's a
I like
grumpy
him a
old
lot.
bastard, isn't he?
David Warner is just perfect for this Doctor. Like, this is the bastardest Doctor. Like, all right.
Fed up with
Get him,
everything.
Doctor. You're right. I don't carry a weapon, but I'm Santa. I said I bring gifts, and that was just. I'm not going to tell you more, but yeah, that's it. You're right. I didn't bring a weapon. I brought a gift.
Now, either you're
Okay.
doing something very unpleasant or Ichi's there.
It's Ichiban. He says,
Ichiban.
Ichiban, say hi.
Hello,
Easy
baby
peasy,
doggy.
easy peasy,
Hello,
easy
baby
peasy,
doggy.
and peachy peachy. I was
Ah.
speaking him Slim Jim. Sorry, so
Yeah, no, I had trans abuse this week over at the shops. I tend to drift into my own world over there nowadays. Just thinking and just. But there's certain things that will bring me down to earth. And one of them is people with dogs. Because I like to look at the dog and say hello if I can. And so there's this guy walking out with a dog. And I go, hello, little doggy. Because I do that. It's known. And he says, don't talk to my dog. Don't talk to me either.
wow.
Oh, okay. Why not? You're fucking disgusting, you are.
Oh dear.
Oh, lovely.
Really? Why? You don't know if you want to be a man or a woman.
Not
You
true.
do know, though.
Well, quite. I mean,
Quite certain, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
he was actually incredibly.
He's the one who's not certain.
He's ignorant and
Stupid. Yeah.
yeah.
Did you
frankly.
pour milkshake over him?
No, I didn't get
Did
a
you?
chance to.
And
Plus,
was there any kind of liquid assault?
he would have absolutely ruined me. He would have destroyed me. He was a young, fit bloke, and yeah, that wouldn't have gone well. So I just gave Saki answers back. It was only afterwards I felt like shit. Sorry, I mentioned that when we're talking about Nazis. That's
Nice,
why.
gloomy. Yeah, we're not gloomy at all here. No,
No.
we're totally upbeat here.
But welcome to my life, boys and girls.
The world is full
At
of
the
dipshits and
bottom of the
bastards.
food
That's for
chain.
sure.
See, this is what I can't understand.
So, do
Sorry,
you guys sell baseball bats in shops over there, or should
They
I
have
bring
cricket
my own?
bats, right?
bring your own.
You can use that the same way.
Okay.
Bring your own version of Lucille.
Okay.
I mean,
Got one behind me.
yeah. Or in that case, you can leave it behind, and you picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille.
Not the brush.
Andrew?
Not the brush.
Hello.
Hang on a second.
He's getting Lucille.
Yeah, I had noticed.
You
Yes,
say,
we'll have to wait now.
expanding middle baton, those are still legal, right? Oh, quite. There we
You
go.
from Ann Summers.
No, that was from 28 Days Later, right?
No.
No, that's Walking Dead. That's
Was it?
Lucille. That's Negan's Lucille.
There you go.
He named
Naughty,
it after his
naughty
dead wife.
bat. Sinister, can you repeat your last line in chat here?
That is a rogue Cyberman on level 4 controller.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I will never get tired of that. Right, stop. Anyway, yes, that's where I was heading with the whole Nazi stuff. The second story, there's a half-converted Cyberman, and he seems to still be in control of himself. And he goes back to his village. And this is a very different story, and it's lovely. Because you've got his parents' reactions, then you've got the other villagers' reactions, the reaction of the girl he used to love, her Nazi boyfriend,
Right?
and then you've got the added problem of at any moment his cyber programming could kick in and he'll kill the whole lot of them. I'm going to say no more plot-wise, just to say that this was
Hang
unexpected
on.
and nice.
Person from an isolated community goes back out into the wide world
Yeah.
and has a friend who's got a Nazi boyfriend. It's the Sound of Music.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love that film.
Was it a musical episode?
There's a reason for that, me loving it. My nan used to have the songs on the Sound of Music album, and she used to play it quite a bit, so I got to know them rather well. And there's never been a Doctor Who the musical. I pray there will never be a Doctor Who the musical. Sorry, that's shark jumping. Doctor Who
I don't know.
does not need to do that.
What about
Doesn't
what about
need
as
to
a
do that,
stage
but us
thing?
fans may need to hear it.
Just saying.
As
Yeah,
a stage thing, well, we've had a couple of songs in Doctor Who.
yeah, right.
And
A
especially
stage production.
but going back again to Evolution of the Daleks, or Daleks in Manhattan.
Doctor Who Ice Capades. That's what they need. Doctor Who on Ice, the musical. There we go.
There
That's
you
There
go.
you go. It could be set on Telos.
Mm-hmm.
K9 played by adorable Dorothy Hamill.
Oh yes, absolutely. Perfect.
You lot are a worry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
The way of the warrior.
Yeah. The furrow of the brow. Right.
The bearer of the ring.
I only managed to
The
get
wearer
2
of the
stories
ring?
in. But I am fully intending on listening to the last 2. The third one
yes.
is on an actual archaeological dig, but I've only just got to the point where something's about to happen, and it's a case of bugger! Run out of time. So I'm going to go back and listen to that. And yeah, this is a great box set, and it is worth it just for David Warner. I mean, normally I'd say Lisa Bowerman's absolutely brilliant,
David Warner, yeah,
and she
totally.
is. But this is, apart from one other thing I'm not going to mention in case you don't already know it, this is his last performance as the Doctor.
I was about to ask that very question, in fact.
And this is the first time I've had a chance to listen to him properly, and I bloody adore him.
Oh, David, we lost such a treasure.
Lost him to death.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very clever quote, if possibly a little bit iffy. Right. So
little bit more
that's
but we'll let you have it.
that's got to be our Big Finish review. Enjoyable.
Yeah.
Though I have
I've
to
yet to be
admit, the music,
disappointed by the Big Finish, really.
the incidental music, I thought was a bit strange for on the first story anyway. For something set in Weimar Republic, whatever, Berlin. Why are they using a Spanish guitar?
Right? I expected a little more, cabaret kind of thing, but, apparently not.
A little bit more oompa. Not
Yeah,
oompa,
something,
that's wrong.
anything, right?
I can't remember what that beat is. It's a dance as well. Oh well, doesn't matter.
Samba?
What? No. It's 3/4 time, and it's rather
I
good.
beat.
So, yeah, Big Finish. That's good. I'm now going to stop.
One thing bugged me.
Please, yeah.
The wood scene where they're walking through the woods in the snow, and basically it's the crunch, crunch, crunch. Something about the crunch, like they were walking on salt or something. I don't know, but it was crunch, 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 crunch.
In that very scene, for a start, I noticed that they hadn't got the acoustics right in post-prod. They didn't sound like they were outside in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
It was just too fresh, not dulled down enough.
Right, and they were doing the whole...
Was it on this show that so I can't remember who told me, but it was very recently. It might have been at Big Finish Day. So they do all their sounds and music and everything in edit. Whereas if you listen to something like on a BBC radio production, all the sounds are live. So feet on gravel.
So,
it's all done.
Foley effects, basically.
Yes.
But done live.
Yeah.
In studio.
Interesting.
There is,
yeah, they put all theirs together at one,
there is a
and
reason
Big Finish does it post.
for dialogue being drowned out in the mix on a lot of programs nowadays. And it's something certain sound editors just don't want to talk about it because they're scared.
Oh.
Yeah.
And?
Go on.
They didn't want to talk about it.
Well, now you have to.
Sort it out, boys. Sort it out. Boys, girls, just go out there and say no. I have my artistic reputation to consider. I will now go and live off welfare. Right, moving on. Space Above and Beyond. I'm not going to bother listening to this. Go on. One of you, do talking. Space Above and Beyond.
I think it might be my turn to give the précis. I'm not sure.
Précis or précis?
Précis, singular.
I've got the gun waiting just in case.
This week's episode was called Hostile Visit.
Okay, so I did watch the right one.
Yeah.
I didn't.
And
We're having trouble with that.
we start off in space with, is it the Saratoga? Is that the name of it? The carrier being attacked, apparently the subject of a surprise attack by some Chig bombers. Now, I've got issues with this. They're not flying any cap. There's no fighters. They've got no ready fighters ready to launch. They've got no fighters on combat combat air patrol, they call it. I think it should be called CSP, Combat Space Patrol, but whatever. They don't have any. They're just sitting there like a big fucking hunk of metal. And then, so basically, the 58th are told to scramble, and they'll be ready to go in 5 minutes. I'm sorry, on a war footing, even on a non-war footing, you've got ready fighters ready to go.
There should have been planes in the air, right? Or in
Or
the
planes,
space.
or
Yes,
preferably
absolutely.
planes in the air. Preferably
Flying
planes in the air, and a ready squadron ready to launch at a moment's notice, right?
Just like with an aircraft carrier, right? They've got guys at 150 miles out, keeping one circle around that puppy. That's their zone of dominance. Yeah, zone of control, whatever you want to call it. How did they not have that for the freaking flagship or whatever?
It's impossible to get within range of a modern aircraft carrier because you'll be intercepted so far out. Anyway.
Yeah, more that people don't know anything about the military, writing about the military. Grr.
There were just like what 2-3 of them top.
Yeah.
They didn't have any support for this attack.
No, they had no fighter support.
No fighters covering them, so they could get in with the bomber. Right? Like what?
This was written by people who don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, So already we're in the first 30 seconds of the show, and I've got problems with it. And
did you, by the end of it, go shouty?
Right. So anyway, let's move on. What happens is one of the power goes out on the ship, and it's like, oh my god, we've got 30 seconds and the power's going to be back on. But there's a Chig bomber facing the bridge of the ship, and they're like, if that thing is still alive, we're dead. In other words, they got no defenses. Their power's out. If that thing launches a bomb or a missile or whatever. Anyway, turns out it's just dead in space. So they send the 58th, our highly trained fighter crew. They send them as cannon fodder aboard this thing to see what's going on. West tries to beat up one of the deckhands after he gets a minor bit of abuse from him. So, Spanky, I expect you to talk about West.
West didn't die. That's my idea. Yet again, he did not die. Yeah.
Right.
But, hopefully in the next one, they'll sabotage his fighter and he'll blow up on his way out the launch tube.
So anyway, they get on board the ship, and Siobhan, for your benefit, it's controlled like a Zygon spaceship.
Ooh, fondle.
It's got holes and things that you stick your arm into, and you can control stuff. So basically, they decide, and there's also a bit of weird stuff with an aerotech team get brought on board, and they're trying to disassemble this thing, and like
disassemble.
McQueen or whatever said, we now know where the Chigs are coming from. We can use this thing to go and pay them a little visit. It's compared to the Doolittle raids in World War II.
Yeah, that's the entire theme of this episode. The Doolittle raid.
The Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor, and we're like, ha ha ha, and the Americans promptly bombed Tokyo. as if to say,
go big or go home.
As if to say, nothing is beyond us. We can get to you anytime we like.
Yeah.
So McQueen gives the crew a pep talk by quoting kamikaze speeches at them.
Holy fuck.
What the fuck?
McQueen's a unique individual.
Yeah.
Basically, this is the first part of a two-parter. What happens is they've worked out where the Chigs are coming from. Apparently, they've never known before where the Chigs are coming from. Although later in the episode, they say, "But they've got a whole division down there." How do you know? How do you know that? You didn't know at the beginning of the episode where they came from. So how do you suddenly? Anyway, the episode ends on a cliffhanger.
That's
And
bad
I've got
script
And I've got an issue with the cliffhanger as well. They go into Chig territory and they basically start this suicidal bomb run on an emplacement on this planet's surface, right? I don't think it's the Chig homeworld. I think it's just a forward base or something. And they're going into bomb and they miss the target. Okay, but the point's been made. And then they start coming under fire. And then one of the crew says, "Quick, I've found an escape pod." Sorry, you've had this thing for 2 weeks. You've been fucking around with this thing for 2 weeks, learning how to fly it. And just now, just when you need it, you've just found an escape pod. Well, fuck me sideways. Anyway, that's how the episode ends. They all eject, and we got to wait to part 2 to find out if they live or die. I think.
But you forgot the corporate scumbag is ordering the Saratoga to go after them.
That's right. The corporate
The corporate
scumbag says
scumbag.
you should. The captain of the Saratoga says, "Let's get the fuck out of here." And the
Rightfully
corporate
so.
scumbag says, "No, you should follow them to this system. I think you'll be surprised."
Yeah. Shades of Wayland Yutani, anyone?
I'm
Yeah.
thinking that
I mean,
myself,
like,
and I didn't see it.
So it's a
Lance
two-parter.
Henderson playing a dozen roles in the same movie in succession. Okay.
It's nice to see a bit of action, but I've got major problems with what happened, and I'm going to shut up now.
I think you did that very nicely. Who would like to speak next?
I'll go before we get the West hate in.
Oh, that was
What the hell was going on with the whole popping her ear thing?
Yeah, Damfoos she kept going.
Yeah, she kept trying to pop her ear.
Is this going to turn out to be a plot point or not?
No,
Don't know.
no, it's not. No, there's no plot. to
Is it a
this.
bit
I
of
think it's-
character colour?
a really poor attempt at idiosyncratic character development through
Yeah.
idiosyncratic detail. Right.
Because
Yeah.
it drives Vanson nuts.
Yeah, and that was the
Yeah.
point. Is to bring a bit of interpersonal conflict in.
Right.
Yeah. We're
Oh,
all under stress.
and I
Oh
forgot
God,
to
oh
say-
God, why are you
That's if
cracking
you
your
say that,
knuckles?
like,
I don't know.
One at a time. one at a time.
Wang gets it on with one of the crew as well.
That nearly
Yes,
came out
Wayne
very well.
begs. Wang gets a lieutenant who was
Left-hand.
helping them decode all the ship data,
Right.
which they didn't have all the ship data because the corporate scumbags stole it from them.
More Wayland Yutani bastards. Right.
Yeah. This entire episode screamed two things to me. One,
Smoking.
the writers have no idea how to write this shit. Two,
How did you know?
this is so 90s, evil corporation taking over. They're
And here in
behind
the
everything.
20s, it's happening.
Yeah.
Hello, Charlotte.
Hello, Charlotte.
Hello,
But
Charlotte.
Chestnut's just turned up
Hello,
down
Charlotte.
here, and she's noticed, and she's off to him. And she'll meow at him.
Yeah, you can tell we're at the mid-season point
Yeah.
in the show. They've put the main cast into danger because all of them went on this voluntary suicide mission.
Even McQueen.
Even McQueen.
Mhm.
So you
Who's-
know something. Oh God, it's bad. It's bad. Yeah, whatever.
I've got two
Screams
cats here now.
90s. Spanky,
So-
go on
So
with the
Brian, are you?
West is like
was there-
saving fingernail
Oh
clippings.
wait, we have
Hang
a,
on.
Go
Was
ahead.
there a mid-season break here?
probably.
Did they have that
Have a
back
long
in the
enough
90s?
season to
Yeah,
have a
they have that
mid-season
in the
break.
90s.
Okay.
Yeah, they have in the 90s. Mm,
Yeah. This
Oh.
was a mid-season break.
What?
Yeah.
Commence the West hate.
The West hate. Is this the West, the fingernail clippings, and damn Foose wants to get in on it so they can be like buried together or whatever? Or
What?
let me get this in there, some weird shit. Like, what the
Explain
hell is that?
Please,
It's a
'cause
it's a kamikaze thing. Apparently,
Yes.
kamikaze pilots would take fingernail clippings, put them in a container, give them to the family, and say, "I ain't coming back. This is all that's left of me. Basically, you need to bury it."
Have
Oh,
something
cheerful.
to bury. Right.
Very
So they
cheerful.
have
Yes.
something to bury, yes. And then so it's like harkens to that. And this just took me to the previous episode where it was Damphus basically breaks first under the new Chig weapon and damn near gets everybody killed and basically is essentially Wes Jr. And I would like to see the both of them die now because I hate them both.
Sounds fair.
So if Wes and Damphus could just please be blown up together, I would be very, very pleased. I will say that. Something slow and painful would be vastly preferred, but if it's instantaneous, okay, fine, as long as dead. And yes, you can send all of their toenail clippings, body hair, whatever you've got home, and they can bury that. I don't care. Just please kill them. Please kill them. They suck and I hate them. That's all. That's all I want to get in because we said everything else about it. And the Wayland Yutani, I wanted to make that joke, but I already made it. So, and the bad writing because it's not freaking. No military ever does some corporate suit jackass walk onto like a battleship, an aircraft carrier, and start
tell
giving the
commander what
captain
to do.
orders.
That guy walked straight onto the bridge. Sorry, that's not happening. There would be Marine guards outside the door at the very least.
He would have been murdered on the spot.
And another thing, that in all these episodes, you've seen the Saratoga on its own with no fleet around it, no support ships,
Flagship.
no auxiliaries, no logistics, no supply ships, nothing, no
air cover,
destroyers,
nothing.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's such a badass ship, it doesn't need to have anybody flying recon. Right, okay. That just, more writing about the military, people who have zero knowledge of the military or tactics or apparently common sense, I don't know, or anything else related to that entire field. So, yeah, that. Perhaps if when we kill West and Damphus, we could probably put one or two of the writers, maybe not kill, just, a finger, maybe a hand. I don't know.
I want Wes to be shot by his ex-girlfriend.
Yes, that would be great.
Who's still
You
alive.
bastard. Blam, blam, blam.
In a Chig plant.
Mm-hmm.
I want her to pull the
trigger.
trigger.
That'd be great.
Kyrie, I found you. Bam.
That or like Damphus to break down again as they get like their relationship forward one more step, and then she betrays him by breaking down. He dies horribly, and then she kills herself. That would be pretty cool too.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all very much indeed. You covered that very well and possibly a little bit judgmentally. Spanky, it's gone very dark where you are.
I don't know what happened. Oh, well, it is getting later and I don't have any artificial light turned on, so.
It's absolutely fine. It's not a problem. Oh. Even the computer doesn't want it. No, you don't.
Screw you, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Space Above and Beyond. There'll be another episode of that next week.
Yeah. Oh, yes. The conclusion episode of Why Did They Bother? I mean...
Is it the last episode?
No. Just the conclusion to that particular storyline.
I think they only had 13 episodes or something, didn't they?
It's
they're
it's
at
typical 90s serial stuff because while there is a season and the same characters appear, none of the episodes are really related to each other. They don't go back to a previous episode and say, remember when this happened? They don't do a lot of that or anything. You get 2-part episodes like this and shows like that, but there's not a lot of tying each episode to another so that you have a storyline that progresses as a whole unit,
The only thing I do like, well, not the only thing I do like, but one of the things I do like is at the beginning of this episode, there's a lot of talk around the fact that Earth's losing this war pretty badly. And basically we're on the verge of surrender and everyone is kind of beaten down and it's not like Babylon 5 where you'd see Sheridan and the like showing you a big strategic plan saying, well, the shadows are here and we're attacking it. You don't see any of that. It's all from the point of view of the guys on board this ship.
You get it from the grunt view, and being in a war and what you know about what's going on in the war, Like the average person at home in front of CNN knows 10,000 times more than you. Honestly, if you're on the front lines, you know crap.
Yeah.
Really, you don't know anything what's going on, and like the scandal, rumor mill, scuttlebutt, and all that trash is like it's distracting to say the least, and completely uninformative. The whole MASH thing where Klinger knows the whole layout of the war like before anybody else, that does not happen, right? Like just no.
All right.
No.
We're moving on.
Yeah.
Brian, do you have a review of The Magicians for us?
No,
Okay.
I took the week off.
You're
There you
allowed.
go.
It's okay. You've had a crap week. So we're going to move on to Callan then.
Alan, yay!
I can't remember what this one was about.
Was it the most
Sinister,
popular
would
girl
you-
or something?
Those little bits and pieces of love, wasn't it?
It was about some Russian rocket scientist is on the verge of discovering a new fuel for a rocket which could obliterate London. The Allies don't have this fuel yet, and they want to kidnap the scientist who knows all about it, and they do so by getting to him through his ex-wife.
Brilliant. Who's meowing? Are you meowing at Chestnut?
And at the end, I knew someone was going to die,
Yeah. Yeah, someone
Yeah.
does. It's Callan.
but they have a very nice aerial shot at the end.
Is this the one set in Lonely's kitchen?
No, basically, there's this woman who was sent to Dachau concentration
That's
camp
it.
in the war.
Because Lonely's working as a
Oh, yeah.
kitchen porter.
Sorry.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm slowly
and-
piecing it together.
It turns out she was married to this Russian scientist
I'm useless.
who's been trying to find her for 20 years. She's now remarried this other guy.
Her mental
and-
health isn't good.
Her mental
Right.
health isn't good. She screams a lot.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
basically, the organization for whom Callan works
The
put
section.
the thumb screws on her by saying, well, it's either this or a bigamy trial, love.
You're right.
And I got to say, if surely an aerial shot back then must have been hideously expensive.
Yeah,
yeah.
I would have thought so. Very much so. Did they have? They used helicopters in Fury of the Deep, from the Deep, and also up to a point in Enemy of the World. But it was the usual thing of you film the helicopter doing its stuff, and then you come back, and the helicopter isn't actually allowed to lift off when they film the actor doing their scene. And it's on the ground just with the rotors going. Why was I saying that?
Because Sinister said something about it being hideously expensive to have the shot.
Ah, thank you very much. Yes, you're quite right. After all that. Yeah. So, what did you think, Sin?
Yeah, I mean, again, Callan's given a job he doesn't particularly want to do, but he does it to great effect. And I mean, when he does what he's been told to do, he doesn't do half a job. He does it. He just does it. He don't like it, but he does it properly. And there's a scene where he's being hooked up with this Polish guy who tries to cosh him over the head, and Callan basically says, "Don't you fucking try that with me, mate."
Right.
Yeah, I mean, he's a nasty bastard.
The Polish guy is the same actor who plays the Doctor in UFO.
Mm.
There we go. It's not just Toby Haydock, you know. Oh, I can't remember the actor's name, but that's not what I get paid for. Did you enjoy it? That's the main thing.
Yeah, I like this one.
Okay.
I mean, a bit too much screeching on the part of the woman. You know, you can see, and you can see the helplessness of. So she's married to. Is he a doctor? I think he's a doctor, isn't he?
He's a
married
shrink.
to-
He's the one that
Yeah,
put her
right.
together after she got out of the
Yeah.
Out of
POW
Dachau.
camp,
concentration
right?
camp.
Yeah. hmm
And he's like, he's obviously horrified that there's this thug in their house, you know, doing all this
Mhm.
stuff. Tries to have a go at Callan twice, and I'm surprised he's alive. To
Yeah.
be honest with you, because He gets warned the first time.
You're a large man, but you're out of shape.
Yeah, I'm younger than you, and I'm younger and fitter than you.
Don't
Something like
try
that.
it, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he does try it again.
Yeah.
And Callan guts him once. Yeah.
I
he gut
think it's
checks him and
fascinating.
that's it.
Oh, first example of Callan's fake name, David Tucker. It'll come back quite a bit. First surviving one that we know of, anyway. I'm sure people who've got the scripts somewhere can tell us.
Or is it his real name?
Ooh, are we saying David Callan is his unreal name?
This is what I'm led to believe.
So who's he while we were?
He's the equalizer.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
That's just it. The equalizer. Boom, done.
Spanky, you've been enjoying this. What did you make of this one?
I thought they did a very good job at showing just how impersonal and uncaring the bureaucracy of not just an intelligence agency, although those in particular, but any government agency can be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as they're grinding up, people or anything else into their little bureaucratic wheels, right? But the job of picking this woman apart, doing everything in their power they know is going to just destroy her, and doing it anyway. And Callan kind of sitting on the sideline going, really? Come on, man. But he's along for the ride, right? So he does his job. That's Callan. He may not like it, but if you put him in the position, he will get the job done. That's why I think this unit likes him more than anyone else or anything else. Why they put up with his bullshit and everything else is because no matter what, when you put Callan on the job, he gets the job done.
He has an interesting path to walk during his TV series. I'm not going to say any more than that. Certain surprises, and not of the soap
For
opera
a
type.
classically trained actor, instead of doing like Shakespeare, in the park or
But he
whatever,
seems
he
to have-
really
I
ends
mean,
up playing all these gritty, really roles.
Have you seen that there's a little interview with Edward Woodward on YouTube about Callan, and he absolutely loved it.
Put it in the link.
Absolutely loved
Yeah.
it. So yeah. Did you enjoy it? Did I ask you that? I can't remember.
I did. I like Callan a lot. It's a great show. I really like the show, so I enjoyed the episode.
Could you tell us what
tremendously.
the next one is, please?
I think the next one is Little Bits and Pieces of Love. I'm not sure. Let
That
me
was
check
this
real
one.
quick. Little Bits. Let's Kill Everybody's next. That's a really good episode too. Let's Kill Everybody is probably one of my favorite episodes.
Ooh, I don't know what that noise is.
It's a really
That's
good
a very
episode.
provocative title for the 60s.
Let's Kill Everybody, right?
But
Yeah.
do you remember
it was
when
very
A
provocative.
Good Man Goes to War finished? And it's all this serious stuff about, and then suddenly work out River is Mel's, and she's...
Let's Kill Hitler.
And then suddenly, boom, let's kill Hitler. I just pissed myself laughing after all this heaviness to have that title come up on this. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I do miss Moffat's stuff. He could go off
there is a good
sometimes.
bit in this episode. There's a good bit in this episode where Callan's having a meal or something, and he walks out of this restaurant, and there's this guy who stands up. He's got a trench coat on, puts dark glasses on. He's following Callan, but he's such a fucking klutz about it.
Yeah, fucking total noob.
Later on, he loses him, right? And they're like, "How could you lose him?" Callan turns up and says, "Dark glasses, mate."
Dark glass trench coat hat. Could you stick out any more? He's like, well, that's what they said in school to do. And he's like, you're an idiot.
Okay.
And Hunter's just like, Jesus, man. Yeah, like, fucking, what do I have to work with, right? Like,
What? I'm sorry. My
that's the
brain
problem.
is
Hunter
just not
finds
here
himself
tonight.
having to agree with Callan far more than he would like to in this series because Callan's right.
Different Hunter.
And
isn't it?
Hunter can't defend like the dipshit in the trench coat and the dark glasses doing I'm doing tailing. Yeah, right. Okay, buddy. You
I'm a
know,
spy now.
Essentially, it's almost a South Park thing. One of them's decided.
No, you have to
Carlton's
say it like
decided to
Ralph
be a spy.
Wiggum.
I'm a spy now.
That's it,
That's
yeah.
right.
Colin,
Uh-huh.
no, no.
That's it. I'm a
That's
spy
like
now.
that's like. Has anyone seen that picture of Trump? I think he was at an American base, and he's been given this jacket to wear,
Yeah.
and this general's hat or something, and he's smiling. And the
Yeah.
captain is, I'm a military now.
Oh, there's a piece of news we didn't mention. Oh, thank
At
you
last,
for reminding
Trump
me.
gets in the military. Yeah. Any Trump serves in
They've
the military.
released the anthem for Space Force in space.
Oh God! Did you hear that?
Yes, I did
Yeah.
hear it.
Oh wow! What were they thinking?
They
I
were.
have not heard this.
Oh yeah,
You
it's
have
bad.
to, Andrew. You have to.
Oh, it's bad.
Oh,
Edward Seuss is rolling in his grave.
I
That's for
now,
sure.
all it needs is for Shatner to
Or Philip
dramatically
Coulson.
It's got
interpret
lyrics.
it.
It's got lyrics.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
that's
yes.
lyrics,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have a listen to
that's
it
the
whilst
best
you're
part.
there. Let's wait, boys and girls. Let's let him hear it.
Okay, hold on.
I'm excited. Study that face closely.
No, that might not be the one. Hang on. I'm trying to find something. Bear with me.
Major copyright strike coming up.
Probably. Is this it?
Why
Oh no,
does
hang on.
why does this look like the Green Lantern? Wow.
That's the one, yeah, where everybody's going, what, are we being punked when they start hearing it? And they're like, no way, that can't be it. And like, yes, that's it.
Quieter. Bit quieter.
Hello, cat.
Hello, Whisper.
Mhm.
He's got.
That's Ty.
Why did I get that mixed up? Anyway, that was Callan. Next week, let's kill everyone. Indeed, we now have a lineup for next week. We will be looking at the Stones of
Did we get
Blood.
to do talking on that?
What?
Sorry.
Nope, I'm done.
Did everybody do talking on Callan?
Yes.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah. No, I had to stop the Space Force anthem.
Oh,
I know. Oh my
Brian.
God. Guardians
Had you
Beyond
not
the
heard it
Blue.
before?
Give me a break.
I had
Oh my
not heard
God.
it before.
Oh,
I'm
man.
wondering why.
The
Why
mighty
are they
watchful
combining
eye.
the Green Lantern vow
Yes.
with
It is almost a South Park piss take.
with what
a
is
piss
it?
take
The
for sure.
anime with the ship. Star
Sorry,
Blazers.
I don't know.
Yeah. Star Blazers. Right. There
Star
you go.
Blazers with the Green Lantern theme.
Oh my
what
God.
the actual fuck?
Oh no, I found the proper one now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hang on.
Oh, God.
We're the mighty watchful eye. Guardians Beyond the Blue.
Semper Sutra.
Temper Soup. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Semper Supra. Right.
We're the mighty, watchful eye. Guardians Beyond the Blue.
There's no limit to our sky. Really?
He's
Wow.
given up now.
This just kills me. It's just horrifying. We're the Space Force from on high. You must have been high to write that. Like, what the?
I'm
bloody hell?
actually with Brian. I get the feeling whoever wrote it was taking the piss.
I
I
hope
knew-
that was a piss take and
I knew
somebody
they'd
took
get
it
it
fucking
past them.
serious. Right.
Yeah. It's
Like-
just. I mean, I'm expecting the composer to be there. This wasn't supposed to be serious.
Yeah, they didn't realize
How did
that
this
that was
happen?
supposed to be serious. Exactly. And there they are,
Green
like
Lantern
going,
combined with Star Blazers. That's all this fucking is.
that's just,
Are we talking the Green Lantern film, or was there a cartoon
what a
series?
joke. There were several different cartoon series.
No, but it looks a lot like Kyle's Green Lantern vow.
Kind of, yeah.
So, yeah,
bit.
next week, Doctor Who and the Stones of Blood. A big finish.
Bloody Stones.
Not sure which. I'm
finish.
hoping it's another Unbound story with Colin Baker, the Colin Baker. Then
That
there
Colin
is an episode part 2 of a 2-parter for Space Above and Beyond. Really don't care about that. And Callan, Let's Kill Everyone.
Let's kill everyone.
It's cheerful.
The Stones of Blood, or as I like to call it, Death by Snoo Snoo.
Death by Snoo Snoo.
Yeah. And I feel
I would've
so
accepted
sorry
Death
for
by
those
Snoo
poor
Snoo in that,
honeymooners.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel sorry for her more than him, because
Yeah.
you're taking me here?
Right.
That scene
Should've
has
thought that
stuck
through.
in my head for
It
decades.
is. It's so cursory and so unneeded, but it's there. Anyway,
That's
more on
almost
that
as bad as
next
the
week.
opening scene to Dog Soldiers.
I can't.
Oh my God.
Oh, come on, brain, work. So, yep, that's next
Dog
week's Flashing
Soldiers.
Blade, 9 p.m. UK
I
time.
had to bring that up.
4 p.m. Eastern. Available on the Bibble Thruster YouTube channel afterwards. Next Friday evening, same time, 9 p.m. 4 p.m. We're doing Two Fan Dinosaurs, Dr. Sinister and myself, where we'll be looking at the first 2 episodes of Megalos. Just reminding you. And it's not the 8th next week, is it?
That's the game next week.
No. The 8th is a week from next Saturday.
Okay, so there won't be any Thaco Gaming next Saturday.
No, the Saturday after. Yeah. On the
So,
8th of
yeah,
October.
that's our plan. I've got to work on people to come on various shows. Like I say, once we finish Keto Time, we'll be doing a Pertwee special. I'm quite looking forward to that, if I'm honest. Can't help it. He was the Doctor I remember first. How strange. Anyway, yeah. So, Spanky, what are you doing next week? Apart from being the knight.
Tech support for the family. Oh my God, for the old folks. And, fighting those battles. And I pray to God anything other than that, but I'm pretty sure that's what my immediate future is going to be reduced to. Pretty much that, and probably just that. So, yeah. We'll
Brian?
see.
Possibly working.
Careful. That way madness lies. Just saying. Then I look at the
And I
state of
have
myself
to
and think,
come up with
actually-
a campaign for Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, that's right. You're starting an in-person one, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because apparently Retta and I aren't allowed to play with you. We're just saying.
Hey, if you can make it to the dinner table, you're more than welcome.
You have computers with monitors and cameras.
Make it to the dinner table.
There you go.
Retta,
Mine.
he's all yours.
When I were younger, I would accept that challenge.
Spanky, I've already asked you.
You already asked me.
Andrew, have you accidentally swapped hairspray for your antiperspirant? Your
What?
arm appears to be stuck there.
I'm resting on this.
Oh, righty-ho. It seems a little... It was either that or you decided to go full Nazi, which I thought wasn't very likely. What you up to this week? You back at work?
No, I got tomorrow off in lieu of last Monday, which was a bank holiday.
Oh, nice.
Then I'm back at work.
Yes.
Hmm.
Anything else?
And nothing else really. Has anyone seen Andor?
I
think
have.
saw
It's
the first
amazing.
10 minutes of it and then almost fell asleep, so I turned it off.
I'm really, really, really into it.
Really?
I'll have to go.
I
back and
like
try
how they're
again.
showing how you can go from something into being a rebel.
Yeah. So there's no Jedi bullshit. There's no Sith bullshit. It's just a fucking guy on a planet getting pissed off.
All right. I
It's
will give it
cool.
another
It's-
shot.
It's labeled
Yeah.
for adults because
There's a shit in
showing
it.
all the dark stuff that the rebellion had to do in order to
Yeah. And what was I going to say? It's a slow burn,
That was my trouble.
but I think it's worth it.
Imagine I
Episode
say
3.
that. I think people saying what they think of things on Facebook or whatever, it actually, before I've seen it, colours, or indeed even after I've seen it, takes away from my enjoyment of that thing. It's very strange. Society.
You need these days. I think people need to be of the view just to not give a fuck what other people think.
That would help a
Do
lot.
you know what? I don't give a fuck.
Not care so much about what other people do or anything like that, and
Mhm.
not let themselves be manipulated. Learn to think for themselves would be really nice.
A,
But
a slightly tangential topic here, right?
Rightio.
When my wife was expecting our first child, who is Alice, who is now going to be 20 at the end of this month,
What?
loads of
Congratulations.
I thought she was only 18.
I was asking people, I was saying, "What's it like having?" I did all the advice that I got from people about having kids. It was all negative. It was all, "Oh, you keep you wait for ages," and it was all like, "Oh, it's such a fucking slog," and "Oh, the first 20 years are the worst," and "Oh, it's." And I know I never heard a single positive thing about it, and it really fucking got me down. And from that point on, I decided I wasn't going to listen to anyone else's advice.
And
A blast. Kids are freaking awesome.
I just, well, number one, all children are different anyway.
Yeah.
You just got to find out for yourself.
Yep.
So now, when people ask me what's it like having kids, I don't tell them.
parenting advice on the Flashing Blade.
You know, if you
yeah.
raise a bastard, don't be surprised. But you don't have to raise him that way. Go figure.
I got a little bit of arguing with bureaucracy, I expect, this week. And then that's about it, really. Which I could do with a nice quiet week. Yeah, you can't see them. I got new glasses last week. But these are my middle ones. This is for looking at computers. You see, I have 3 pairs of glasses. Count them. So, yeah. So there we go. You know what's coming up next week. Yeah. That's it, really, isn't it? Have we run out of things to say? I think we've run out of things to say. That's pretty good for us. That's quite amazing for us, if I'm honest with you. But anyway.
They probably shouldn't be said, so.
Yeah. Hang on a second. Okay. I always bloody forget. This might be the right one. It might not be. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
But what's John Levine for?
Boys and girls, peoples of the universe, please attend carefully. The message as follows is vital to the future of you all. I played the wrong file. So if you can imagine the Channel Vision music sting
go.
for a thing, for McFadden Publishing, and a goat. Yeah, that's essentially what you would have had. I got it wrong. Blame Spanky.
In Jersey, bat means no.
Going away now.